Oh, you know, thank you for hanging out with me today. I need to set up the conference call. You can't. I just thought about something, y'all. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. But I just thought about something I'm constantly thinking. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm J.B. Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer at J.B. Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm. And this is a great opportunity for us to talk about, where do you spend your money? Where do you spend your money? Where does your moolah go? Where do you spend your money? Well, I tell you, our topic is Black stocks, and as an investment advisor, started in this industry as a stockbroker, as the only Black person on the stock floor at that time, and I know that that's a new area for us, and I even during my career. And I've been in the stock business for over 20 years now, but I have met people who were not allowed to set up accounts. So I'm talking about people still living. That tells you how young we are in the game and how much discrimination has impacted our wealth and our lives, and it's not really discussed often enough. But I've met people in my career, during my career, who were not able to set up accounts at the investment firm where I started my career, and it just blew my mind. I said, so because of that, because I think we were able to purchase homes and real estate a little bit earlier than we were given the opportunity to have, and we were able to own land, then we were able to actually own pieces of corporations in corporate America, that it still impacts us, because we are a lot more likely to own real estate than we are to actually own a part of the companies where you spend your money. So that's why I wanted to say today, to call the topic for today, the Black stocks, because it's about there's not a company specifically that is Black. The company is not Black, and only Black people own the company that I'm talking about. That's not a requirement. But a Black stock is where you spend your Black money. Where are you spending your money? And this morning, when I was thinking about the topic, I thought about Ciroc, and I don't drink. I've never drank. I don't know anything about alcohol, but I thought about, for some reason, I thought about, Ciroc, and I was thinking about, so let's just think about it. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, I think that's what they call him now. He actually, has Ciroc. He actually markets Ciroc, like he is the spokesperson. He's connected to that. So I said, let me look deeper in this. Does he actually own, Ciroc? And then actually Ciroc is owned by a British company, Diageo, Diageo. Not encouraging you to purchase that by any means, but I'm just saying that, say every weekend when you party, you're drinking Ciroc. You don't really know who owns Ciroc. So just as an example, because they've done a great job of marketing it, we think that Ciroc is owned by P. Diddy, and that, that's vodka that is Black owned or something like that. But it's not. He is getting 50% though, that's what I'm seeing. I don't know. We have to really ask him to verify, but he has a deal to get 50% of the profits. So that's like after all their expenses and taxes and everything, that he's getting a percentage of the profits from what you're buying from Ciroc. But it's definitely, he does not own Ciroc, and Ciroc is not the name of the company. And it's a British company, but they're actually traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to really investigate, where do you spend your money? What company do you have your cell phone with? Where, when you go buy fast food, what companies do you go to? Like, you know, so have you ever investigated Verizon? Have you ever, checked out whatever mobile company that you have? Have you investigated that company? Have you talked with a financial advisor about owning these things? Do you have investments that those companies are already in? What are you do? What about what soft drinks do you drink? Do you buy bottled water? Who owns the bottled water? What companies own the bottled water that you're with? What movies? When you're looking into movies, when you go to the movies and you're buying a movie ticket, who actually made that movie? Is it a Disney movie? Is it Universal? What? So investigate. Who's putting out, who owns the networks that you watch the most, who is the owner of that network? What computers do you use? Can you become partial owner of those computers? So, what is, and that's why I have the workshops, like the workshop that we're having on August 6th in DC, centrally located, one Metro Center. Just stop at that Metro stop, come up to the 7th floor, but you got to register ahead of time, and it is free. We can talk about things like this. That's what AfroEconomics is about, that you actually building wealth and understanding all of your investment options so that you're not limited to what your mama did, your grandma did, your granddaddy and daddy did, what everybody else did. Because once we're broadening what we're familiar with, then we become more comfortable with looking at different investment options. The numbers show that very few of you watching right now actually own stock. So, why not? There's a whole bunch of people being rich. I mean, there has been a speculation and you'll see that it has been stock ownership that has actually led to most of the billionaires that we had. That Oprah became very rich because she took ownership of the company that was distributing her, that were producing her, she gave up some of her money in order to gain ownership of that. Say you work at Walmart. Are you participating in ownership of Walmart? Are you saving? How are you saving? Are you looking at the investment options? A lot of corporations that you may work for, they'll match you with company stock. You're becoming owner of that company that you work for. So the majority of us are not self-employed. Like me, I own all of the stock in my company, my corporation, but you can still carry yourself as an entrepreneur, carry yourself as a business owner, because you make a difference to that company that you work for. People that work with me, they make a difference, and they make it possible for this company to, so say they are in at the ground level of JB Bryan Financial Group and AfroEconomics, and it gets bought out at some point. Who is going to benefit from that? Those people who are in it from the beginning. Those people that purchased it, the people who started Facebook, they're the ones that are really, really, really rich. The people that started Microsoft, that were there from the beginning, and that were able to really share in the wealth because they created it. They made it possible. So when you have to participate, we have to think about where are we spending our money and what's the company behind it? Like, I carry these Toomey bags, and they're owned by a company out of New Jersey. It's on the stock exchange, So you don't have to just buy things. You can become part owner of that. You like it. Maybe a lot of other people like it too, but you have to make sure that you investigate it, that you research everything. So we're talking about stocks, black stocks. What makes stocks black? Because you're taking your black money and you're spending money with that company. That company is a black stock. I am going to create an Afroeconomic index of stocks that we spend a lot of money with as a community. And I'm not going to discriminate on what the company is or what they do. It's just going to be that we spend money there, and how well is that index doing? Because a lot of times, we don't see the economic impact of the money that we're spending with companies. That you think that company out of London that owns Ciroc did not think about the Black consumer. They knew it. So they said, well, let's partner with this hip hop artist and we will increase. He increased the sales of that product dramatically by him connecting, and it drew us to it. And those who drink, they started drinking it and they connected it to him, and they felt that he had ownership of it. And it just led to so many things, subconsciously. But the bottom line is the Black dollar matters. And you're spending your money in places, and you're helping them make money, and you should benefit from it, from researching thoroughly, realizing the risk involved, and considering stocks and stock ownership in companies where you spend your money. So some tips before I leave you. Let's think about this. Things for you to think about. Learn more about stock investing. Learn as much as you can. Learn. Research. Find out what they do. Find out what the company does. Find out how they make money, the name of their products. Do they only have certain products? Do they only have that one product that you buy? Do they have a whole bunch of different products? Or what do they do? How they make money? What's their history? And the debt load, everything. Find out everything you can about the company before you invest in it. Stocks, understand that stocks are risky, and stocks are not a short-term investment. So if you have money you want to invest and you need that money back within a year, you need to reconsider using stocks. Stocks are not short-term investments. They're long-term investments, okay? So the opening a brokerage account to purchase stocks is very easy. You have to call a financial advisor. Hopefully, JB Bryan, love to help you. But you can open up a brokerage account, and you can open up accounts easily online. Even firms like mine can do e-signatures, send things to you. We can sit there and look at each other like this and set up the account. You e-sign it, wire your money in, and it is done. We can wire money from one brokerage house to another. We can get it done. Technology has allowed, firms of my size to be able to provide services and to connect you to all of the investments out there. And it's amazing. And I thank God for technology, but definitely opening up the account is easy. Picking the investments, that's where the challenges come in, but that's what you got me for. Learn about diversification. Putting all of your money into one stock can lead to some big losses if that one stock does fall down, the price drops dramatically, but it can also lead to some huge wins if the stock price goes up dramatically. I've met people, and some of you out there probably watching, that have a huge amount of their money in one stock. Very dangerous. But because it's worked for them so long, like say they work in a particular company and their stock has been going up and up. And I've met people after 20, 30 years of working at a company with all of their 401k in this one company stock. Oh, that's amazing. So be careful, be conscious of the risks that are involved. Many stocks pay dividends. So a lot of times to make money on stocks, you don't have to actually, you don't have to sell it. Selling the stock is not the only way that you can make money on stock. You can investigate. When we're looking at the research, you can see what the dividend has been that they've paid, or if they don't pay out a dividend. Of course, smaller companies are going to be putting their money back into, themselves typically, but you have some larger companies that pay out dividends regularly, and there's certain industries that pay out dividends regularly. So it's fun. It's fun, but we have to make sure that you realize the risk involved and that you understand that right today. Please know that I am not encouraging you to purchase anything. I'm encouraging you to consider stock investing and hopefully speak with me and talk about your specific risk tolerance and what your specific interests are. So we just talked about many stocks pay dividends. Explore mutual funds and exchange traded funds. And all of this is in the book, AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters. It is in the book. Now, and I also have a workbook, and the workbook breaks down the 10 principles of Afroeconomics. So make sure that you get that is all about exploring and increasing your knowledge and being a lifetime learner. That positive mindset. Right here is the poster on Thinking Like a Millionaire, one of my many workshops that I do, and the thought process of this millionaire thought process includes the 10 principles of Afroeconomics. Yes, indeed. So the exploring mutual funds and exchange traded funds, because there are stock mutual funds and stock exchange traded mutual funds that allow you to have a lot of different stocks, and you're choosing one mutual fund and you're getting instant diversification across a lot of stocks. And some of them are stock and bond funds. So then another point is to explore index funds. And those index funds have lower management costs because they're not managed as heavily as a regular mutual fund, because the index funds are based on the indexes that we choose that you're selecting. So you might have the S&P index, and we should have a show about that one time. I'm all up in your face. But the S&P index, or the S&P index tracks the 500 largest stocks that are in their 500 largest companies in the U.S., I should say, and covering a wide range of industries, versus we think about the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It is the average of 30 companies. So some of the Dow components are in the S&P 500, but those are index funds that are based on different indices that just represent the Dow represents 30 different industries and 30 large companies in the U.S. as well. So both of them are U.S., but there's actually indices that would include international stocks or index for international stocks. So there's a whole bunch of indexes out there now. So number 8 is to investigate tax-deferred investments. So tax-deferred accounts, we can set up brokerage IRAs, you can set up 401ks, you can set up 403bs, and a lot of those things, 401ks, 403bs, 457s are available for you through work. There's also the MyRetirement.gov that's available through the government, but that doesn't involve stocks at all. So and then also understand the taxes. So when we're talking about investigating tax-deferred accounts for investing, those allow you to not pay taxes on the investments. If you sell the investments within the tax-deferred accounts, then the tax is deferred until you actually start withdrawing the money. So they're retirement accounts where if it's outside of a retirement account, it'll have different taxation. So we want to make sure that with taxes, though it's not as complicated as it seems, sometimes people have a misconception that stock investing is very complicated, so I'm not going to do it. But no, we just need to understand the taxation, talk with your tax advisor, and talk to me, hopefully, about it. And then get an advisor. Get an advisor would be my final tip about stock investing. To get a financial advisor, check out jbbryan.com, my website. But we're specifically about Black stocks before I leave you and you leave me. Let's just think. If you look at yourself, look at your, I don't know, just look around your life. What self-service do you use? What TV shows do you watch? What books do you read? Who publishes them? Where's your bank account? What car do you drive? Do you own parts of those companies? How can you own them? Do you have a relationship with a financial advisor that can assist you with setting up brokerage accounts, that can assist you with selecting stocks? And if you don't, please don't hesitate to call me, 1-844-JB-BRYAN. Go to jbbryan.com or visit AfroEconomics.com. And also, there's a risk calculator that'll, and that's a big part of stock investing or any investment, understanding the risk involved. Sometimes we get this misconception that just because you understand it, you think there's no risk involved. Like you think, oh, I'm going to do CDs or keep everything in a savings account because there's no risk involved. But there's a risk of not allowing yourself to grow your money so that your money doesn't grow. So you aren't able to maintain your style of living because you didn't allow yourself to have the growth potential or give yourself exposure to growth opportunities when you needed them. So, allow time to work for you. Allow yourself to research and expand your mind. Open your mind to all of the opportunities that are out there for you. We're watching the news a lot. They're talking about indexes near record highs or passing record highs. What does that mean? Well, don't hesitate to call me and talk to your financial advisor about it. Ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can. Get the information. Get it. Have a great day. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you information on buying black stocks and getting out there and getting a piece of America or getting a piece of the whole world. But look at stocks as an option. Have a great day. Don't forget to please subscribe to my channel. I love the opportunity to share and send out alerts. The app, you can watch me right on your phone, the AfroEconomics app. It's available to you for free. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate your comments. I promise I will reply. I have 100% reply rate. But subscribe, click like, and God bless you. Take care. Talk to you next week or before. Bye.